Was the question, why do white people hate black people so much? I have been in situations where I've been surrounded by nothing but white people. And this conversation has come up. The race conversation has come up. And no one ever has an actual reason as to why they hate black people. There's always these, oh, black on black crime. Oh, they're lazy. Oh, they're this. But it's not actually, there's no legitimacy behind their reasoning. It's just that they heard and they're regurgitating. And so, long story short, it really comes down to there is no reason. It's a deep-seated jealousy, a deep-seated hate that, black people exude greatness. Black people are the great inventors. Black people are the beginning of the human race, the Eve gene. And white people have worked so hard to erase the history and erase the greatness of the black race. Down to even when things are invented, the majority of things that are invented were invented by a black person. But yet, the white race has actually erased the original inventor from history and have put their names on things that they had no business putting their names on.
Oof. It's weird to be a race that acts inhumane but pushes the narrative on another race. This is one of the many insidious ways white supremacy culture shows up in those of us that are white-bodied individuals. And I say insidious because it's only subtle to us, but very plain to see for black and brown indigenous people of color. When we're convinced that we are and consider ourselves to be safe and benevolent white folks who don't see color, we are so dangerous. Because underneath all that and colorblindness lies some very foundational beliefs about what it means to be a good person in this world. And what do you know? All those characteristics just so happen to look like what it means to be white. We have to recognize that we have been raised in and therefore conditioned to think in terms of a racial caste system. So as long as black and brown indigenous people of color are able to assimilate into whiteness, they're okay, and even heralded as exceptional people. But as soon as someone starts to question things or show that they're not grateful to be an American, we're like, what's the deal? I mean, I know things were bad, but can't we just move on? If you could just get with the program, you'd be accepted just fine. Sure enough, when people don't just get with the program and assimilate into white supremacy culture, they're labeled in all sorts of awful ways that are really just a projection of ourselves. And worst of all, their lives are constantly in danger. So until we do the work of dismantling white supremacy culture within us, no amount of being will do.
Well, it's about time.
Yep, I agree. It's about time. So let's go into a couple of biblical scriptures concerning this, right? Okay. Let's go into let's start at Genesis. Wow. Now, earlier in the video, the young woman said that the woman said that so-called white people hate black people for no reason, right? Genesis 27:38, and Esau said unto his father, because Edom, is the so-called white man. He is the devil, the living embodiment of satanic power on earth. He was designed genetically to be wicked. He doesn't know anything else but to do everything backwards, upside down, and in reverse, opposite of everything in righteousness. Straight out of the womb, man. I'm sorry. Okay? And Esau said unto his father, Thou hast but one blessing, my father. Bless me, even me, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And this is my point. And Esau hated, Salakia, go back, hated his brother Jacob, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Let's go from there to, what was it? Ezekiel. Yeah, let's get that one for sure. Right? So I can. Okay, where is it closed? Thank you. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. Remember, Jacob wrestled an angel, and his name was changed from Jacob to Israel. And Israel had 4 wives. He had 2 wives that were sisters. One was Leah, the oldest, and then the wife that he really wanted was Rachel. Remember? Okay, in the biblical scriptures, they teach you this stuff. You would think at Sunday school Bible class or vacation Bible school, but they don't teach anybody anything anymore. But God loves everybody bullshit, right? Ridiculous Edomites. But anyway, okay, now Jacob wrestled an angel. His name was changed from Jacob to Israel, which means he who wrestles with God in the actual reality of the circumstances and situation. The name was Yaquab in the ancient Hebrew, and his name was changed from Yaquab to Yasharallah, which means Prince of the Power or Prince of God. Okay, because he wrestled this angel and prevailed. He beat an angel in a wrestling match. Can't beat that with a stick. Talk about stamina. Okay? Now, he had 4 wives, or two wives that were sisters, and each of the sisters, or each of his wives, which were sisters, had handmaids, and he impregnated all 4 women. Thus, he has 12 children. These 12 children are the 12 tribes of Israel, right? What is it? Judah, Levi, Simeon, Manasseh, Gad, Asher, Joseph, Issachar, Zebulun, Naphtali, Benjamin, and Reuben, right? So these 4 sons that he had by these 4 women are the 12 tribes of Israel. Remember? Israel. Okay. All right. And these are the 12 sons of Jacob. Okay. Now, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, Ezekiel 35 and 5, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel, the children of Israel shed the blood of the children of Israel, shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end, right? And our iniquity in that time, which is the latter times, where we consider what is going on around us perfectly because of the biblical prophecies that are coming to pass. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will prepare thee, meaning Esau, right, unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate. Now, Mount Seir, like it says in Genesis chapter, let's go back to Genesis, chapter 36, verse 8, right? Thus Esau dwelt in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Then it goes into the generations of Esau. So Esau dwelt at Mount Seir, right? Going back to Ezekiel 35 and 6. Here we go again, man. No. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Right? Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 1. Also thou, O son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, mountains of, or the governments, or our dwelling places where we live, in the hood, in the barrio, in the reservations. Say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Those are the righteous men who are standing on the street corners preaching the word of truth. And then you have to have the spirit of discernment to know the difference as to who has the 100% truth of the biblical scriptures. Because, you know, and when you read the Bible don't take no shit. The Bible don't, it's direct. Do this or be killed. Do this or die. And then the Most High gives you examples of disobedience through the disobedience of the children of Israel. That's the reason why we're at the bottom. That's the reason why the Son of Man have to prophesy unto our people and tell us to hear the word. That's the reason why we're out there, right? Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession, right? In 1948, the small hatters, right? We have to call them small hatters. We have to use different words and stuff in order to go around the YouTube, what you call it, algorithm, to stop them from putting copyright strikes or strikes against our channel for misinformation or disinformation, stupid shit like that. Anything to stop the hemorrhaging of the truth coming out against them. Like you said, like the woman said earlier in the video, you know, they had no business putting any of their name on any of the things and inventions that we created. The only reason why we created these inventions was to make our life more palpable during our enslavement and captivity in a land that's not ours. Okay? I mean, I'm from Judah, okay? And my family was brought here on a slave ship. Don't know which one, okay? But in chains and yokes and fetters of iron around my neck, hands, and feet. Okay? My great-granddaddy was a sharecropper. That's how I know. So when he was freed as a young man through the Emancipation Proclamation, he decided he knew he couldn't get his 40 acres and a mule. He decided with a bunch of other families, right, to get some land and start growing things, which makes sense, right? And had to share the crops with the so-called white man, okay? And we had to pay twice as much of the things that we brought in, and we didn't get paid even half as much, okay? And the white men would come in and got their own crop, they got their own stuff, and they would get paid more than us, okay? But we still found a way to succeed, you know, so-called Black Wall Street, the underground towns that have been drowned out with water, have covered over by lakes. That Central Park was a black neighborhood, okay, and they went in and exterminated the people, okay, and covered up all the bodies. You know, Central Park pretty much basically is a giant graveyard, okay. The Devil's Punch Bowl, you know, when you had slaves coming out of slavery, okay, and they needed a place to go, okay, and the United States Army was under order to put them in reservations and camps and seal it off with brick, having the slaves make these brick walls, and then started exterminating and killing the people that were in, shutting them in, shutting up and locking up the doors. I just found out some other information. Let's see. I think it was I just took some pictures. I just took some pictures of I just took some pictures of Yeah, I just took some pictures earlier of 69 little young black men that were locked in their dormitory back in 1959, and they set the place on fire. You know, you have instances of two little black girls that went to church on Sunday, and they were supposed to clean up the church and wipe down the church pews and get it ready for church. And some white men went by and shot up the place and burned the church down with the little girls inside. One was 9 and the other one was 11. Come on, man. These bastards have got a lot to pay for the blood that they've shed, man. And then not only do they did the same thing to us in Rosewood and the indigenous population of people that were already here, the other 10 tribes that they call the lost tribes of Israel, okay? They went in and stole their land, took them, exterminated them, and put them in prisons. Now they're doing the same thing in Gaza. That's their modus operandum. Okay, that's their mode of operations. They come in, steal your land, take your shit, fuck you, kill you, and then claim that they're you. That's what they do, man. Right? Let's go to Amos chapter 1, verse 11. Right? Thus saith the Lord, right? For 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword. He did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Now you know why so-called white people hate so-called black people for nothing. Obadiah. Okay, let's go back to Obadiah. Obadiah, clearly, chapter 1, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of Mount of Esau? And that's what the Most High has done. Okay? They're going to continue to push war against a people that don't even have a standing army. They have militia groups, guerrillas. They don't have a standing army with tanks and planes and thermonuclear subs and shit. Okay? And the only reason they're going into Gaza to destroy the people in Gaza, the so-called Palestinians, which I don't give a shit about the Israeli or the Palestinians. I'll just put it out there like that. But the reason why I don't give a shit about either one of them is because they're not us. Okay? They took over the role, okay, of the children of Israel in 1860. Okay? Let me see if I can find that. Boom. Let's go to files. Images. Screenshots. See if I can find it. Yeah, because I got a lot of screenshots in here. I just need some of the stuff that's that's recent. If I can find it. What's that? Oh, this is what they're out to do now. Technocracy. The government or control of society or industry by an elite or elite of technical experts. Failure in the war on poverty, discredited technocracy, whatever. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to find that one. This is one picture that I had took a picture of a little while back. There it is. Strictly speaking, it is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew or to call a contemporary Jew an Israelite or Hebrew. Right? So a lot of these different individuals, they've had a hand in what they've done to the children of Israel. Okay? Okay. Right. The same government that invaded you, kidnapped you, raped you, tortured you, enslaved you, miseducated you, starved you, lynched you, infected you, right? Jim Crowed you, drafted you, redlined you, imprisoned you, cares about your health? Right? Check this out. The war for Israel. That's the reason why this is what's going on. When he was asked about the Middle East, The late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated the Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black but came back white. Okay, see, okay. And then the unrighteousness of what they're doing right now here in the world, in at large. Alice Bailey, right? 10-point strategy of New World Order. Take God and prayer out of the education system. Reduce parental authority over children. Destroy the traditional Christian family structure. Is this not what they're doing? Right? Did not the Most High God destroy all wisdom out of Teman and out of Edom? Right? If sex is free, make abortion legal and easy. Right? That's one of the main reasons. She's one of the contemporaries of Margaret Sanger. Right? And Aleister Crowley. These individuals hate Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans with a staunch hatred. Okay? This chick is just an example of hatred. Okay? Pure unadulterated hatred for no reason. Just because. Right? Verse 5. Make divorce easy and legal. Free people from the concept of marriage for life. So they're destroying families. Right? Make homosexuality an alternative lifestyle. Right? Debase art. Make it run mad. Use media to promote and change the mindset. Right? Who controls the mainstream media? The small hatters. Right? All of the mainstream media, Hollywood, the movies, propaganda, TV, the internet, it's all owned by individuals that call themselves the JOOs and are not, but do lie. Right? 9, create an interfaith movement. Right? God loves everybody. Get governments to make all these law and get the church to endorse them all. These changes. Right? See? So that's basically what's going on, man. Okay, check this out. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. See notably Isaiah chapter 34, verse 5 and 6, and Isaiah 63 and 1. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from God. Okay? Obadiah chapter 1, verse 9. Right? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Right? And Teman are the elites of these Edomite devils that are trying to push this new world order. Novus Ordo Seclorum. Right? Why? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right? Verse 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them. Who are these strangers carried away captive our forces? Right? Who are these foreigners that entered into our gates and cast lots upon us and sold us as slaves? Let's go find out. Let's go back to Amos chapter 1. Amos chapter 1, verse 6. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they, Palestinians, carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom. Right? Now we all are established that Esau, Edom is the white man, right? Now, Amos chapter 1, verse 8, and I will cut off the inhabitant from Ashdod, and from him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon. Is not Ashdod and Ashkelon currently being raided and destroyed right now? Being bombed? Okay? And I will turn mine hand against Ekron. They got issues with Ekron now. These are all major cities in the land of Israel. Okay? Right to this day. And the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? Okay? Here are some more foreigners, right? Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. Now, you go and you talk to an actual so-called African, they'll let you know that there's a distinct and a specific difference between them and us. Okay? Let me get you a picture. So this way you can see what I mean. If I can find it. It should be here. Oh, I went the wrong way, didn't I? Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Just trying to make sure that I'm going the right way. I'm getting close. I'm sure. Okay. All these screenshots, man. Wow. Okay. Okay. Check this out. Hold on. American was born in genocide, bathed in murder, racism, blood, and violence. The biggest genocide in human history didn't occur in Nazi Germany, but on American soil. 100 million Native Americans were slaughtered and lost their homeland. 60 to 120 million Native inhabitants exterminated by illegal immigrant settlers. Who were the settlers? See what I mean? This is what they did to the indigenous population of people, dude. Right? Let's see. Right? Check this out. Robert Kennedy said this. But suppose Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is black. What if we go to heaven and we all our lives have treated the Negro as an inferior? And Yahweh is there and we look up and he is not white. What then is our response? You're going into slavery forever. That's your response. Your response. What kind of shit is that? That's crazy. I'm trying to figure out where the there it is. Hold on. Okay, this is what I mean. These are Tyre and Sidon, right? Ham, the youngest son of Noah, the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. Okay? So these were more of the individuals that came up against us, right? Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. Right? So these are the different individuals found in Obadiah. Okay. In verse 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers, right? Gaza, Escalon, Ekron, which are, the so-called Palestinians or Philistines, which they took, the original Philistines, or Tyre and Sidon, or the so-called North and South Africans, the actual Hamites. Watch, I just showed you a picture of them, right? In the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people. Okay, did not these devils in 1948 enter into the gate of Israel and take over that land? Right? In the day of their calamity, right? Yep, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, right? Nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. They stole everything from us, man. Okay, like the woman said, they put their name on everything and claimed that they made it, that they created it. They didn't create a fucking thing. All these people know how to do is to kill, steal, and destroy. Let's get it. John. Because they don't know anything else, dude. I'm just telling you, being real. John, what is it? 10 to 10, ain't it? Right? John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Right? Who is he that have come that they might have more life? They being the Israelites, the whole house of Israel, even the scattered, the diaspora. Okay, that's found in what is it? John 7, I think it is, and 35, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. John chapter 7, verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, Whither will he go? Shall we then that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? Now, the dispersed is all about the Hellenization of the Hebrew Israelites being adopting and going into, not adopting, but being having their another culture forced upon them, right? And we became Gentiles, Gentile foreigners, because we intermingled our seed in with the Gentile nations that we in which we found ourselves in. So our children came out lighter, and seal. 4 generations, which is a generation is 40 years. 4 generations, that's 120 years. 4, 8, 12, 16. 120, 160 years later, 3rd and 4th generation, right? Okay. They're still Israelites because their bloodline come from the seed of their fathers who are Israelites, but they look like white people. They look like Mexicans. They look like Hamites. They look like Chinese. They look like Japanese. They look like Koreans. We look like everyone now because we were sold into every nation on the face of the earth. Okay? That's just me being real. Okay? The thief cometh not but for to steal, kill, and to destroy. Okay? Now, we proved that. Okay? But anyway, going back to Obadiah and finish up with that. I went the wrong way, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Tripping. Obadiah Salakia. Okay, where was I at? 13? Obadiah 1 and 13. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity, that thou shouldst not have looked upon their affliction. Right? Now, you just saw a bunch of pictures that I just showed you about our affliction. If you'd like me to go back over it, I will. Okay? Let's go back over some of these pictures of affliction. Okay? They looked upon our affliction. Okay? These are pictures of some of our affliction. Are they not looking on over our affliction? Okay? Come on now. Them is 2 Hispanic guys. Get that. Right? This is a picture of this Jesus is white bullshit. Doesn't make any sense. You can't hide a little boy that has no leprous, that's leprous like this, that has no melanin in his skin. You can't hide him in Africa. There's predominantly dark melanated skinned people. Libyans, Ethiopians, right? And Canaanites. Okay? This leprous devil would be a picture of what Esau would have looked like. And his brother came out normal like everybody else. But Esau was the only one that stood out. Okay? This is where so-called white people came from, man. Out of the womb of a so-called black woman. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Right? Now you have Isaac and Rebekah. And Rebekah's holding Esau on one hand and Jacob on the other. See? Okay? That's just that simple, man. Verse 14. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape, Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. Okay, so the individuals that remained was the siege on Jerusalem in 70 A.D. under Vespasian and Titus. With a great slaughter, they went throughout that whole land and exterminated men, women, children, old and young. They didn't give a shit. Okay, that's where it says in First Maccabees, wickedness spread throughout the entire land. Let's go get that. Okay, let's go to First Maccabees, chapter 1. Oh, well, let's start with verse 5. Okay, let's start with verse 7. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 7. So Alexander, and you know Alexander the Great, all of these so-called white people are proud to death of this goddamn Edomite devil, right? They're proud, okay? And then died, and his servants bare rule, everyone in his place, right? And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. Because of this devil, Antiochus Epiphanes, is the reason why our people were dispersed among the Gentiles, found in John chapter 7, verse 35. We were dispersed amongst and the Greeks look like the picture I just showed you, right? Okay. Okay. In those days, okay, let's go down here, right? And see, and then this is the individuals of our people that convinced our people that they should join into the heathen. Now, you heard the Edomite devil earlier that we should amalgamate our and change our ways into their ways to fit into their society, right? In those days there went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we've had much sorrow. Why? Okay. Salakia. Let's go down here. Verse 41. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to the whole kingdom that all should be one people, right? And everyone should leave his laws. And so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yep, many also of the Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the services of Yahweh and the promises, where it says in Jeremiah 17:4, we were discontinued from our heritage. Right? This is how we discontinued from our heritage, man. It was by force of the sword, by threat of death. Listen. And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yep, also many of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. Okay, for the king had sent letters by messengers into Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land, eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, worshiping Zeus and Athena and Hermes and Diana of the Ephesians, and all of these other false gods and religions, cutting your hair, cutting you into your flesh, in memorial of the dead, where you have people that have tattoos right today that write in their tattoos people that have died, babies, their mother, their dad, when they were born, the year and the month that they were born, and the year and the month that they died. Okay, God says you're not supposed to do that, but he only made these laws set up for Israelites. Everyone else could do it. But see, we grew jealous because we couldn't do what they could do. They felt so free that they could just do whatever they wanted to do. And so you see how the device pleased well some of the people, some of the Israelites that agreed to go into the heathen. Okay, and to accept and to amalgamate themselves with the customs of the land of the heathens, right? For the king, okay, verse 45, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings and in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. They set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. Why? Verse 49, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Right? Verse 52, then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor, or for safety. You see what I'm saying? So that's the basis of why these devils hate us, man. They're going to continue to hate us just because. Okay? And they're doing everything they can to destroy us from off the face of the earth. Go back to Obadiah, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Okay? So you just seen pictures. You just seen pictures of everything that they've done to us. Okay? You just seen this, okay? Okay? As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Okay? Okay? Just trying to make sure you understand. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Verse 16, Obadiah 1 and 16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. All of the heathen. Now we went through the book of Amos, and we picked out all of the different heathen that are about. Let's go into Psalms 83. Let's go to Psalms 83 and get it. We're going to get to Psalm 83. Okay, of the heathen, right? The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes. Okay, let's break these down. The tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs or mixed mongrel race. Of Moab, the Chinese, the Hagarenes, the Egyptians, Gabal, Turkey, and Ammon, the Japanese, and Amalek, those that call themselves Jews and are not but do lie, and are the synagogue of Satan, right? And the Philistines, the so-called Palestinians right today, with the inhabitants of Tyre, North and South Africans, right? Ashur also is joined with them, right? Assyria, and they have holpen the children of Lot. Who are the children of Lot? Moab and Ammon. Okay? So there you go with that. Verse 16. For as ye drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yep, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Right? See? So, yeah, Esau, Edom, you're done, man. Obadiah, chapter 1 and 18. The so-called white man hates this biblical verse because it pertains directly to him, and he knows it. Obadiah 1 and 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Right? We're going to have spiritual power. Right? Okay, we're going to be on fire for the Lord and to keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. That will be the law of the land. And the house of Esau for stubble. Okay? Yeah. Like it says in the biblical scripture, the Most High shall make our his words in our mouth a fire and a flame, and this people wood, and they shall become stubble. And that's basically what's happening. We're burning these people up, revealing who they are, revealing their wickedness. I just showed you a bunch of the pictures of what they've done, and they want us to. That's the reason why they want to shut down the internet, and then call it a super solar flare or some stupid shit, or call it an electromagnetic pulse weapon and blame it on Russia. right? Anything to enact martial law, force you into the cabal of New World Order. And like one of the Freemasons at the top had said, there's no way that you're going to be indoctrinated into the New World Order unless you have a digital token. You have to have a token of your allegiance to the New World Order. Okay? And this digital token is the radio frequency identification chip, the NFC chip, the right size of a grain of rice. They want to put up underneath your skin, man. Right? So this way they can keep track of you. They can keep track of your financial records, what you're buying, what you're spending. Okay, if they don't like something that you're spending, they'll just shut off your money. How are you going to feed your family? You see what I'm saying? These devils, man, they've had thought about every contingency plan. There's no way out of this thing. Okay? And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Okay? None. None. Okay? So you remember this. This is the reason why you have such perpetual hatred for us. Devils. Anyway. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. Let me go back to that. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? There it is. This is the MARK of the BEAST. You cannot, I repeat, cannot repent after receiving it. Okay? You can't. Shalom.